Southwestern Athletic Conference and HBCU athletics. There's only one place to go. Tune in to the Carlos Brown Show, exclusively on the Black College Sports Network.
Let's get back to strolling instead of scrolling. Before we can safely come together, we need the facts on COVID-19 vaccines. Visit getvaccineanswers.org so you can make an informed decision for yourself and for your family.
Some carriers will give you just one measly entertainment subscription. One is no fun. With Verizon, there's up to 7 entertainment subscriptions with your unlimited plan. That's 7 times the... 7 times the... No! 7 times the... Music, gaming, Disney+, Hulu, ESPN+, and more. That's 7 times the entertainment!
Because everyone deserves better.
And with plans starting at just $35, better costs less than you think.
If you think all pads are exactly the same, think again. This is Always Ultra Thins reinvented with the Always Triple Protection System. This pad wicks gushes 90% faster, absorbs even more so you can feel dry, and locks odors in. Rethink your pad for up to 100% leak-free and odor-free comfort with the totally reinvented Always Ultra Thins. This is always like never before.
Nope. Nope.
Come on, him?
Ooh, I like him.
Quick, the quicker picker-upper. Bounty picks up messes quicker, and each sheet is 2 times more absorbent so you can use less.
He's an 8.
He's a 9.
Bounty, the quicker picker-upper.
At Tyson, we know taste is local. Some like their beef pit smoked, their chicken spiced all the way up, or their pork sweet and saucy. Local flavors, global impact. That's what feeding the world is all about.
This is the BCSN Pod Zone, your place for the news, views, and conversations about all things related to HBCU athletics. Here are the BCSN Sports Wrap, Dr. Cavil's Inside the HBCU Sports Lab, Knights of the Round Table, the pregame show, the Carlos Brown Show, the ONG Strike Zone, and more in one place. We are changing the way you consume HBCU sports, one broadcast at a time.
Press the analytic data with your hip hop. If you know them like I know them, they gon' tell you if your team, if they wanna loud, and who the ball. So listen to Professor, yes sir, and pay attention, cause he gon' teach a lesson.
This is Dr. Bill with Inside the HBC Sports Lab. We're back for our second segment. We get into the poll rankings, week number 2, starting with the mid-majors. I want to see what the guys think. Let me get right into it. Receiving votes of Bluefield State, Big Blue, 1-1 on the season. Arkansas Baptist Buffaloes, as they bring back football, got the first victory over Texas College, hasn't played since. You got Central State Matadors that dropped out of the poll this week, along with Florida Memorial Lions. Florida Memorial Lions at 1-2, and Central State Matadors at 1-1. Into the top 10, we got 2 teams that are jumping in. They started number 10 with Kentucky State Thoroughbreds, 1-1 on the season. They jump into the poll rankings. At number 9, you have Savannah State Tigers. After a big victory, they jump back in as well with 15 points. Now into the previous ranked teams, you got number 8, Clark Atlanta Panthers out of the SIC, 1-1 on the season. They lose their last game, but they stay in the rankings, fall 1 spot, along with number 7, Bowie State Bulldogs, last year's Black college football mid-major national champions, according to Dr. Cavil, that is, and these gentlemen right here. They come in at number 7. They dropped 3 spots this week after a tough road loss to Saginaw State there. At number 6, rounding out the bottom 5 is Fort Valley State Wildcats, 2-0 on the season, getting off to a great start. See how they continue to move throughout the season with 54 points. They are up 3 spots. Let me get into the top 5, fellas. Fayetteville State Broncos, 1-1 on the season. They lose a non-conference contest and fall 2 spots with 63 points. Bringing us to Albany State Golden Rams. They go on the road to FAMU in Tallahassee. Put up a fight early, but then can't get it done. They scored late to kind of make it a contest. They're 1-1 on the season. They still have 2 first-place votes, but they dropped from number 1. So we get a new number 1. Stick with us, and we'll tell you who that is. Number 3, the Benedict Tigers getting that big win on the road. Lane against Lane. They go to 2-0. 2 first-place votes, 77 points. They move up 3 spots, gentlemen. At number 2, you have the Langston Lions, 2-0 on the season. That's in conference race as well. 2 first-place votes, 93 points. They stay at number 2, bringing us to the new number 1, Virginia Union Panthers. 2-0. They get the big road victory against Valdosta State, the number 2 ranked Division I team in the top 25 poll rankings. They get a non-conference win against a historic white college. One of the best wins in some time. You might have to go back to the playoffs with Bowie State last year with a couple of wins in the playoffs. Go to FCS. You go back to South Carolina State back in 2014, 2016, something like that, when they defeated Wofford that won the SoCon. They were left out of the playoffs because they couldn't get it done against the MEAC. Those are some of the big victories. Let me go to you, Charles. What are your thoughts on the mid-major top 10 poll rankings? How did Dr. Cavil do this week?
I would have put Virginia Union right up there. That's a huge win over a nationally ranked team. Jada Byers, 32 carries, 319 yards. Huge game for Virginia Union. They are rightfully the number 1 team. But I tell you, a team that I would have put in the rankings this week is the Lincoln Lions from Pennsylvania. First road win in 7 years. First road win since 2015. That was 31 games they dropped on the road until this weekend. So I would have shot them into the poll ranking. So that's my thoughts on the mid-majors.
I see where you're thinking. I can see them receiving both, but you just dropped them in the top 10.
Drop them right in the top 10.
Big road win, as you said, first time in some time. So I can see where you're thinking. Let me go to Mike Washington and see what his thoughts are. He's stroking his, I would say beard, but he doesn't have one, a little chinny chin head. But what do you say, Mike?
Yeah, I have to agree with you. First of all, Virginia Union, hands up. All praise thee. Yes, with that victory, yes, you deserve to be number 1. Langston, I think they're off to a great start. 2-0. Benedict, I don't know. I would have put Lincoln up in there because who did they beat? Central State.
Mm-hmm.
And who did Central State beat the previous week?
Winston-Salem State.
Winston-Salem State. I'm sorry. So they didn't just beat anybody. So I would have shot Lincoln at least into the top 5. First road victory against a quality opponent. I agree with my compadre there, CB. I would have put Lincoln up at least in the top 5. The other one I have a scratch in my head is Fort Valley. Now, yes, they just beat Kentucky State. Was at 9-7, something like that. But I think that they've shown that they're a strong enough team to be in the top 5 as well.
Mike, Charles, you see Mike just does not like the fact that Benedict went on the road and beat Lane, a Lane that took Pine Bluff to the road chapter. He's coming up, but he just
I'm gonna let him take that over Tennis Berry.
Yeah.
I agree with you. Let him take it up. Let's go to the major division. I don't think there's much change here. There was a scare. Let's see what people think. Or was it really a scare? I'm not sure about that. The defense showed up as it has all year for the last year and a half, really. Receiving votes, Florida A&M Rattlers go to 1 and 2 as they get their big victory over the Albany State, as you see, a previous number 1 ranked team at the mid-major level, top 25 team, Division II wise. Tennessee State Tigers, they're still 0-2, but played 2 top 25 teams, so they received some votes. They're not in the top 10 poll as they fall out this week, along with Alcorn State Braves that go to 0-2 and also fall out the top 10 this week. So who do we have in there? 2 new rankings. Let's see it. Number 10, Delaware State falls 2 spots, but they stay in the top 10 at 1-1. They lose a tough one to Delaware. Played well in some spots of that game. Put up a lot of yards, just couldn't get in the end zone. They have 17 points. Bringing us to number 9, Southern Jaguars, 1-1. I guess their first real test, or at least a conference test at FCS level. We get a chance to see the new version under Eric Dooley. but they fall 2 spots after a tough loss to LSU. Yeah, Power 5 out of the SEC. Still, they lost 18 points. At number 8, Prairie View and the Panthers, they fall 3 spots after a tough road loss. They go to 1-1, 1-0 in the conference. They had a lead up in there, played really well, but just like Tennessee,
take the points. Take the points. Take the points. Take the points. If you got the points on the road, take the points. I don't care.
Yeah, a lot of people saying that. At number 7, Grambling State Tigers. For those that don't know, Washington is referencing the fact late in the 4th quarter, as Prairie View was leading Abilene Christian, they were up 13-7. They get a chance to go for a field goal, or what they decide to do is go for 4th and 5. They don't get it, obviously turn the ball over. And it seems like the whole momentum of the game went in the other direction. Abilene Christian comes down the field and scores, and then a short 3 and out, and they get the ball back and they score and end the game, essentially with Prairie View not being able to get it done on their last drive.
You got Money Reyes as your kicker. Take the points. He's been good from 40+ yards. Take the points.
And we heard in the first part when you gave kudos to Jackson State kickers, Money Reyes, Money Mata, as they say, is like he really matters. He gets it done. So one team does it, the other one doesn't. I will say this, that Coach Prairie View A&M Panthers McDowell said on the media day, he said, hey, first year, learn about it. He said, I am more traditional open, where he said, you get a chance for points, you take the points. He said, don't worry, it won't happen again. So he owned up to it. Credit to him.
Credit to him.
Yeah, I give him credit. He owned it.
At number 7, Grambling State Tigers, they get a big win. Neutral site against Northwestern State. One of the first wins for the SWAC HBCUs this season against FCS Historic White College. So you got to think about that and give them that. So they go to 1-1. They jump in the poll with that win. 43 points sets up a big matchup with a top 10 team in terms of the previous ranked number 1 team. We'll see if they stay there. Jackson State, that game was on the road between Hugh Jackson, former NFL player coach, against Coach Prime. We'll see what that means this weekend. And number 6, Alabama State Hornets. They go on the road, cross West Coast, long travel. They get a loss to UCLA. Have some good spots in there, but they fall to 2-1. They dropped just 2 spots with that matchup. Top 5, you got Arkansas at Pine Bluff Golden Lions, 2-0. Not ranked, but they jump in the top 5 as they get it done and put a lot of points on the board, as you should, a team that you are outclassing in so many different ways. Also in the rankings, 2 spots up, Hampton Pirates, 2-0 on the season, 83 points. Number 3, North Carolina Central Eagles, looking good as they beat up on Winston-Salem State, their Division II foe and rival. They earned a first-place vote with that win, 93 points, remain at number 3. Bringing us to number 2, South Carolina State gets on the board with the win against an old rival now out of the SWAC in terms of getting a win for the MEAC against Bethune-Cookman. They have 5 first-place votes. They take away a first-place vote for Jackson State, but Jackson State stays number 1 with 6 first-place votes, 2-0 on the season, 1-0 in the conference as they defeated FAMU, but then they come back and beat another rival, or at least according to some, a rival, Tennessee State Tigers, in the Southern Heritage Classic, which seems like the last version for at least a while in many people's eyes. They have 113 points, remain at number 1, continue to get it done. So Jackson State Tigers remain number 1. They do lose 1 first-place vote after week 2, but defensively they are strong. They have not let a team score a touchdown, and these are teams that are pretty solid when you're talking about FAMU and Tennessee State, at least what people's expectation of these 2 teams are. So it'll be fascinating to see what the Jackson State Tigers continue to do. And they play a team that put up some points, so we'll see if that makes a difference. But let me go to you first, Mike, in terms of the top 10 in the major division. What are your thoughts into the poll ranking?
No, actually, nothing with the top 10 in the majors. Man, that South Carolina State team, I saw that game. They are true to their name, rushing. Kendrell Flowers, 153 yards, beast mode. And I don't see nothing changing. So this South Carolina State team is strong. They can make a push for that top spot. So they played a very strong game. So nothing wrong with at least with your majors poll.
Yeah, man, I like that, Mike. You finally get your head on right. I like what you're doing there. I don't know what's going on, but we'll give you credit for it. Let me go see what's
Yeah.
Dr. Cavill's Inside the HBCU Sports Lab with Mike Watson and Charles Bishop after dark. But anyway, go ahead, take it away, Charles.
Yeah, I mean, I think the poll got it right this week. It was interesting to see North Carolina Central there with one first place vote. I thought that was correct. But big matchup this weekend, Jackson State and Grambling. Jackson State's defense gets to see another explosive type offense with Katarius Hawkins, a 27-point second quarter that Grambling had this past weekend. A good out-of-conference win. We always celebrate out-of-conference wins with regards to the SWAC because they've been beaten down so much with these conferences that are geographically within their recruiting region. So a good win for Grambling. So that's going to be a good one with Jackson State and Grambling. And Grambling people will tell you in a heartbeat, they have not lost in Jackson since 1999. So we're looking at 1999 to 2022. The Grambling Tigers have not lost to Jackson State.
What's that Sam Cooke song? Change gonna come.
Yeah, I believe so.
A change gonna come.
Good point. This is Dr. Bill inside the HBC Sports Lab. We'll be right back after this second break. We'll get into halftime and bring you back for the second half of the show.
Support the Black College Sports Network so we can continue to provide you coverage. Go to myjbn.com/support and be a part of the Black College Sports Network.
Let's get back to getting ticks instead of watching flicks. Before we can safely get out there, we need the facts on COVID-19 vaccines. Visit getvaccineanswers.org so you can make an informed decision for yourself and for your crew.
Charmin Ultra Soft has so much cushiony softness, it's hard for your family to remember they can use less.
Sweet pillows of softness.
This is soft.
Holy Charmin. Oh, excuse me. Roll it back, everybody. Sorry.
Charmin Ultra Soft is so cushiony soft, you'll want more, but it's so absorbent, you can use less, so it's always worth it.
Now, what did we learn about using less?
You gotta roll it back, everybody.
We all go. Why not enjoy the go with Charmin?
Maureen is saving big holiday shopping at Amazon, so now she's free to become Maureen the Merrier. Food is her love language, and she really loves her grandson. Like, really loves.
Since 2002, Empowerment Resources, Inc., a nonprofit organization, has empowered more than 1,500 youth and adults in Duval and surrounding counties. Through its programs, Journey into Womanhood, Girls Mentoring, Life Skills for Teens, and Parenting Education Coaching. To get involved with programs, volunteer, or donate, visit www.empowermentresourcesinc.org. Follow us on social media, facebook.com/empowerment.resources and instagram.com/empowermentJAX.
Press the analytic data with your hip hop. If you know them like I know them, they gon' tell you if your team, if they wanna lose, and who the ball. So listen to Professor, yes sir, and pay attention, cause he gon' teach a lesson.
The Bill inside the HBCU Sports Lab after dark. We have none other than Mike Washington, Charles Bishop, the professors in the building. Got a little update text here. It says, how is JSU not unanimous? I understand. I think you can make that argument. Also saying that South Carolina State should not be ahead of North Carolina Central because of the first loss to South Carolina State. Believes North Carolina Central should be ahead of them. I think a point can be made there too. But this is Dr. Cavill's Inside the HBC Sport Lab poll. Might ask you to vote in it, but other than that, stay in your place. I'm just Let's get into these matchups. Mid-major classic of the week happens to face both a Division II and an FCS program between the two private schools, big-time program. East Rutherford, New Jersey, MetLife Stadium, HBCU, New York City Football Classic, NYC as they say it here. SIAC versus the MEAC, Saturday, September the 17th. Both of these teams trying to get on the board. Morehouse Maroon Tigers played well, but they're 0-2. Howard Bison played well in their last contest, or they haven't played a full game, I should say. Looked good in spurts, but they're 0-3. One of these teams get out the snide and gets a much-needed victory. Be interesting to see what the fellas think in terms of what that might be. Let me go with you, Charles Bishop. What are your thoughts in terms of this Howard University Morehouse matchup between the smart folks, as they might say?
Yeah, the $1 million question. Can the Morehouse Maroon Tigers defense, can they slow down Ian Wheeler? I think Howard has a pretty powerful rushing attack that they'll unleash this weekend in the Big Apple. So I'm going with Howard for the easy W this weekend.
Mike?
I don't know.
It's going to be easy for Howard. I know the Howard like to hear that. Some people not sure. Where are you going with this matchup?
I agree with him to a certain extent, but data point. What is Howard's record?
They're 0-2. Oh, yeah.
0-3, right? So
yeah, that's what it might.
They are not exactly the beacon of efficiency, especially on the offensive side. So while I think they will beat Morehouse, I want to see how efficient their offense is. I don't know if Morehouse is just strong enough. If you look at I was looking at average sizes of their line. I was looking at offensive output.
I can tell Scott just wants a victory. He don't need to care if it's efficient or not. He wants a victory. But I can see Mike is gonna break it down. I want to see
I'm gonna break it down.
Go ahead, Mike.
Let me get my data points out. So Howard's output on offense has been less than desired, and Morehouse seems to be improving. Nevertheless, I got Howard in this one. I don't think it'll be a pretty victory though.
Yeah, I see, boy. Y'all tough. Howard. He said they're gonna get it, but it won't be pretty. Like I said, I know Scott and them Howard Bison alumni, they just want a victory. Pretty or not.
Howard put up 418 yards against the FBS opponent this past week. And they put up 418 yards against South Florida. So, and it was the running attack. It was Ian Wheeler. It was Jared Hunter.
Yes, they did.
Let's go to this next matchup, Independent. We're going to give some love to a program that just started football back again. And they've had some big wins in terms of just starting the program. That's Bluefield State, the Big Blue. They take on Central State Matadors. Everybody's going to like, man, Central State is getting a lot of love the first couple of weeks. Yeah, that's just kind of how the schedule fit. Central State is 1-1. They go on the road, Mitchell Stadium, SIAC versus the Independent team that has knocked on the door, at least looking at seeing if they can get some love from the CIAA. Not yet. This is 11 a.m. game, so it's early in the morning. Be wiping the sleep out of their eyes, as some would say, in terms of those parts, at least in Central Time Zone. It's noon there, so that's a little better pickoff when you're on the East Coast. Let me stay with you, Mike. What are your thoughts on this Central State Matadors matchup against the Big Blue, Bluefield State?
Oh, I got Central State on this one. They looking good. So no other picks for me. I think Central State is looking good. Offensively, 10 seems to run okay, but I think their defense will be able to hold up in this one.
Yeah, Charles, we doing our graduate class tonight. You know them late classes. You know how they go. You get a little blurry eyed. I see you over there. Give me some love on this game. What are your thoughts of this matchup? Make it sound exciting.
I like Bluefield at home.
Yeah.
Give me Bluefield at the crib. I like a little home cooking on this.
And they've been in terms of playing programs that are not great. They find a way to win some good ball games of teams that you think that should beat them, but are not necessarily world beaters. They find a way to come out of top, just like Johnson C. Smith. Johnson Smith, I'm sure, winning that game thinking, hey, we can get a victory here. No. Now, it went down to stretch in the last play of the game, essentially, but Bluefield State found a way to get it done, and they got some big wins last year over some of those CIAA teams. Well, we'll see what they can do in the SIAC. I like what you say here. Let's get into our last break. We'll come back in the fourth quarter and give you the major division matchups, classic and independent game. Talk about that, and then we'll call it a close for the end of the evening. With that being said, stick with us. We'll be right back after this last break.
Thank you guys for what you do for HBCU athletics. This is a fantastic avenue for all of us. This is our ESPN, so we love what you guys do. Brian, AD, Roy, all you guys at BCSN. We really appreciate what it is that you guys do for us.
Don't worry, Ma. We'll be there soon.
We? Is this the one?
Well, let's say I found the one who takes me to another level. Always stays calm under pressure. Most importantly, the one that helps me discover the coolest places.
This sounds wonderful.
Come outside, I'll introduce you.
They're here.
Definitely the one.
Introducing the all-new Nissan Frontier.
At CDW, we get speed as the new currency of success.
Our team spends way too much time tending to outdated applications and software when they should be focused on driving application agility and innovation.
CDW Amplified Development Services modernizes software and application development to help accelerate innovation and digital transformation.
So you mean building new applications, UI, and mobile interfaces?
Well, you said you needed to innovate more quickly.
Oh, so he's a listener.
To do more at scale, trust CDW Amplified Development Services.
It's like a loop machine. Going around town, people trying to get down.
Press the analytic data with your hip hop. If you know them like I know them, they gon' tell you if your team, if they wanna lose, and who the ball. So listen to Professor, yes sir, and pay attention, cause he gon' teach a lesson.
This is Dr. Cavil's Inside the HBCU Sports Lab After Dark. We got Charles Bishop and Mike Washington giving you the latest and greatest as we finished with the poll rankings earlier. We'll get into those marching sport poll rankings on Thursday. With that said, let's get into these major division games. We're going to start out with the HBCU Class major division game of the week, which features a conference division game to make it that much more important. We're going up to Arlington, Texas in Globe Life Park for the Arlington Football Showdown. That's Saturday 17th at 4 o'clock. It'll be on HBCU Go TV, so look for your local CBS affiliate type station. You got the Southern Jaguars that are 1-1 on the season. Haven't played a conference game, so this is their first conference matchup. But you got Texas Southern Tigers that are 0-2, 0-1 in the conference. They can't afford to take another conference loss. They'll pretty much be out of the picture, so they need this bad. They snuck up there in Arlington. That was not on television. Got the win last year in a nip and tuck game that had some calls that had everybody wondering different things, although the conference said after the fact they got it right. With that being said, you got Eric Dooley, the coach over there at Southern, for his first conference game coming out of Prairie View. Hadn't had a loss to Coach McKinney over his year. So let me go to Charles. Is that where you going to pick up with this matchup?
$1 million question for me. When was the last time Eric Dooley lost to Texas Southern?
Yeah.
I mean, even when he was offensive coordinator at Graham. I mean, I haven't seen him lose to Texas Southern and God knows when, and that's
you might have the days when he was at Southern or something. I'm not.
Yeah, sure. I probably got to go back.
That's a really good big for those hidden facts. See if somebody can tell us about it.
Yeah, but I expect for this to be sort of a coming out party, if you will, for Bashan McCray. We saw against Florida Memorial they could be pretty explosive, but I really want to see this Eric Dooley offense up against a SWAC West opponent. $1 million question, I think, for me is, can Texas Southern stop anybody? I know they can score points, but defensively, they still have not shown that they can stop anything. And until that happens, you have to go with Southern on this. I expect for Southern to be able to put up points. I expect a high-scoring game in this one because I do think both of these offenses can be prolific in the SWAC, but you got to go with Southern.
Yeah, I'm surprised if you say a high-scoring game. I think Southern's defense is going to be formidable, but it'll be interesting to see if that's the point, which is one of the things I look at more in this matchup, which is Southern's defense against Texas Southern offense. But I want to see what Mike says. Andrew Body. Charles says he's going with Southern's quarterback McCray for a coming out game. Wow, fascinating there. Andrew Body had some points against North Texas. You know, showing the life of what many people thought he was going to do.
Yeah,
Mike, take it away. What do you thought about this matchup?
No, I to be honest, gotta go with him. Andrew Body, he's got a slow start. His efficiency is 112%, but I think the efficiency for the Southern quarterback is right up with him. I think this is somewhat of a resemblance game data point for the Southern quarterback. So I think that defense for Dooley will definitely keep them at bay. If Texas Southern couldn't do anything against a Prairie View defense, I do not think they'll be able to do anything against a Dooley defense. That goes the same. So no, I take Southern all the way.
Now, Clarence McKinney offensively had some success against Dooley on the defensive side. Just couldn't get it done offense. I will say that. But to your point, I see where you're going in this matchup. And I'm going to stick with you, Mike, as we shift over to the HBCU Independent Non-Conference Major Division game of the week. What happens to be a rivalry game. It used to be a MEAC conference game. Longer that way. It's in Hampton, Virginia, William Dick Price Stadium. When you get the Colonial matching up against the MEAC, we saw it last week with an in-city game with Morgan State and Townsend that was pretty close. Townsend got the win. Can the MEAC get a little rebound, or will it go to the Colonial again? This is Saturday again, September the 17th at 1 o'clock. Game is on ESPN Plus. Hampton Pirates are 2-0 at Norfolk Spartans that are 0-2. Can the Spartans get off the ski victory, or will it stay in the Colonial and Hampton and start out the season at 3-0 when a lot of people thought they would be scratching for wins? Well, they got off the turf. I know it's early, but what do you say about this, Mike?
You know, if you'd asked me this question about 3 games ago, I probably would have picked Norfolk State. But I'm gonna go with Hampton. I mean, Hampton is showing some strength, especially on the defensive side. You know, Norfolk State, they've lost some games, but it's not the games they've lost, it's how they lost. I mean, 55-3, 63-7, given it was Marshall. Marshall just beat Notre Dame. James Madison weren't even competitive in that game. So I don't know what Norfolk State can really do. I know Hampton's going to come to play. So I'm going to go with Hampton on this
one. Shout out to Jimmy Wilson. He said, this better be for extra credit after dark. I said, yes, it is. This is your graduate class. So it's a little extra points for those undergraduate students coming in here and finding out what it looks like at the graduate level. Yes, this is extra points. I like what you said there, Mike, but I want to see, does Charles Bishop agree with you? He started oohing a little bit, so he might have some different points. Let's see what he thinks.
Behold the green and gold at home. Ooh, this is tough. It's tough, but I got to go Hampton Pirates in this. Can Norfolk State stop Elijah Burris? Elijah Burris had a huge game against Tuskegee, rushed for over 100 yards, but they had multiple players, I mean, who really – who had some nice carries in this game. I think Hampton's going to bludgeon them in this game with regards to the rushing attack. I'm going to go with the Pirates. They got a little something going thus far this season. They got that little, I don't know.
They got
that Colonial Athletic Association mojo or something going on.
They got something cooking over there. I don't know what it is, but with that start they got, I got to go with Hampton on this one.
I am a little bit concerned about
Dawson. Y'all already threw the pixie dust off of Coach Odom's over there?
Well,
no.
Yeah. I am a little bit concerned about Hampton's quarterback, Malcolm Hayes. He was a little loose with football against Tuskegee, a couple of interceptions. So, but if they take care of the football, I think Hampton will get this win.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Great points by both of y'all. Thank you for being good stewards and partnerships in that. And that'll do it for us, as Jimmy said. That's extra credits with Dr. Bill's Inside the HBCU Sports Lab with Mike Washington, Charles Bishop After Dark. giving you some extra love here. Thanks for those that stuck with us and got it in terms of what it looks like. Give some quick shout outs for those that are able to jump back in with us this evening. Lynn Blow, Theron Waters, Anthony Weston, Jazzy Faye came back in here, checked it out. Appreciate you, Jazzy. Lonnie Shaw, Chuck Hunt is in the building always. Kerry Mickens, Ricky Burton, Noel Price got back in here. Belinda Johnson, Lonnie Shaw. Yes, we got the sound working, buddy. Wendell Davis, brother Wendell Davis. I see you, Juan C. Hill, coming in here back in class. Eric Evans giving some love in terms of what's going on here. Appreciate you in terms of what that looks like. Lennon says, y'all better give all of us a dozen crispy hot donuts tonight. Man, we give extra credit points about food, man. We trying to live the healthy lifestyle. But, you know, that's early in the morning. We get you some coffee and tea. Lonnie says, hey, Charles Bishop, for the safety reason, tell Shador Sanders to stop flashing that bling bling on national TV. Not good. Yeah, the only thing is good thing he's not on the West Coast where now it's a lot dangerous being around there. I think he might be okay in Jackson, Mississippi. To your point, sad news out there in terms of the way the world turns in Los Angeles. So I do get the point there. Stephen A. Miller, Jimmy Wilson wants his extra points. Lenny Jenkins jumping in here. George Suggs has joined us as well. Kevin Crawford, appreciate you all checking us out. That'll do it for us. Thank you for listening to Inside the HBCU Sports Lab. Make sure to share our podcast with your friends and colleagues. I am Dr. Kenyatta, the Dean of HBCU Sports, coming from inside the lab in the College of HBCU Sports with Mike Watson and Charles Bishop. Again, we want to thank you for listening to Dr. Ville's Inside the HBCU Sports Lab with Mike Washington and Charles Bishop every Tuesday and Thursday. We'll be back Thursday at 6 o'clock Central Standard Time. We look forward to as we continue to give you the latest news of the lab. Follow me, Dr. Kenyatta Cavil. That's DrKenyattaCavil. That's Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. DrKenyattaCavil. Inside the HBCU Sports Lab 1 on Twitter. That's Facebook and YouTube. Inside the HBCU Sports Lab. Dream big. Continue to move forward. We will talk with you soon. Charles?
Horse.
Mike?
Lecture.
Dismiss.